This is the pre-K kindergarten Sunday school lesson for this Sunday, May 13th. Sunday school's at 10 o'clock in the child care room. The kids are reading the parable of the yeast. We've been doing the parables for the last few weeks. And so we did the mustard seed last week, and we're doing the yeast this week. Here's the story card, and it's got a nice short story on the back. And this is also a continuation of the idea that small things can make a big change, which is the idea of the mustard seed. It's nice and small. The yeast is something that you put inside something and it grows bigger. And that's an important lesson for children who are small and knowing they can still make a big impact in the world. There's a couple of great ideas to explain this thought. We obviously aren't going to be able to bake bread, and the time frame and the resources required for that. But the idea they have is under Build Community on page 62 of the lesson I'll send you up here at the top. It's kind of hard to see, isn't it? Is to take a balloon, and I've got several there that are, a deflated balloon, and then blowing air into it and seeing how it changes. And really, this analogy is even better because it's not even something small that makes the change. It's something you can't see. You can't even see the air, and yet it's having an impact on something else rather dramatically. So I'll have a couple balloons there to kind of illustrate this point. And then I'm going to bring in some yeast and sugar and some warm water so you can combine that. There's ingredients I'll make a copy of, although I'm sure you know how to use yeast, but just to give kids an example of watching it kind of bubble up and become active. Seeing that is always an exciting thing, and understanding that cooking is a chemical process. There are changes that are going on when you combine these things, and that's, adding something to an equation helps make change, right? And so for kids to hear that and realize that, it gets exciting for them. So I'll have the yeast, I'll have the balloons, and there are some great questions that follow the story as well, if you want to go into those. And then the other thing they suggested was maybe having some different types of bread there to taste, because not all bread requires yeast, right? Obviously. So I will see what kind of bread and crackers I can have in the room there so they can taste a little bit of them. I don't believe any of our children have a gluten allergy, but we can check with the parents to make sure. So that'll be fun. And then I just wanted to have some art supplies there so they could draw pictures of their interpretation of this story. What does it mean for them? This is, again, the picture of the story card. They can draw something like that. They can draw bread, someone making bread, the yeast becoming active. Just draw a picture that represents something that they took away from the story, which I think they'll enjoy doing. And all the art materials will be in the classroom as usual. Let me know if you have any questions, and if there's something else that's involved in the lesson that you'd like to do, that's fine too. And thank you so much.